be it. Hi.
Hi.
Okay. That one.
Where's
the camera?
Oh, I know. I can't put it on the same spot.
No, we keep flipping it. It depends on what's going on there.
Yeah.
But.
When it was flipped the other way, for some reason, the screen was only up straight up and down. It wouldn't turn.
It wouldn't
portrait. No.
Wiggle.
Wouldn't wiggle.
Couldn't drive the bus. Turn it.
Oh, you broke it.
I totally broke the chair. So there's a wheel on this chair that's broken,
and now
it's super broken.
Oh, that was funny.
Oh, I wasn't anticipating that.
It went flying.
I saw there's a black piece that covers the wheel, no longer is attached to the chair that I'm sitting on.
Oh my goodness! Yes,
it's never a dull moment.
No, you just never know what we're gonna do.
Nope, sure don't.
Oh my goodness, that was good.
There we go. There's your entertainment for the day.
Oh yeah, did we grab the bag?
Why would we have done that?
We were talking about it.
We did talk about it.
Yes. Where's
and then we got talking about other things. I believe it's at the front counter.
Okay.
Well, we're not quite there yet, so we'll see if Hayden comes back.
Or I was gonna say, while I'm doing
when you switch there, we can grab over. And make that happen. So today
we started out with a bang. We sure did.
Bang! Scared the living daylights out of me.
All right. Well,
I would just like to clarify. It was broke before I did it.
Yeah.
So I just made it worse.
Yes.
There you go.
There we
go. So hello to all.
Yes. Oh goodness. How was your weekend?
It was nice. Yeah, we it was short as always, but had my in-laws over for dinner, and I made sweet potato casserole, which I've been enjoying ever since. You know, it's always about food for me.
Yeah.
But made a huge pot roast and had dinner. And picked my son up from the airport yesterday, which was great. He's back home.
That's good.
And his dog didn't know where to go. He was upstairs, downstairs, which is why I slept. Last night. It was just like, oh, for crying out loud. So, good afternoon.
Yes, it's crazy. It's been a crazy day. We weren't that busy.
No, but we've had appointments all afternoon,
day.
which is great.
Yeah.
We're always happy to have them, but it does put a different vibe. We're man down, if you will. So it makes everything feel a little different. But here we are. We made it on time.
We did
almost. I think we might have been a couple seconds late, but
not
close enough.
Close enough.
So how about yours? Did you do anything fantastic this weekend?
No, I don't know if COVID, everything is closed except for the stores. And after wearing the mask all week, I really don't want
to go to a store to wear a mask.
I don't want to wear my mask all day or while I'm shopping.
That's okay.
Yeah, I mean I'm bad. I even take advantage of the Meijer, put it in my own car, put it in the car for me and just shop for me, and I'll just load because I'm just entirely
not wanting to do that.
No, I don't. I don't want to hang out and breathe my mask for more hours.
So we went to Toledo for dinner on Saturday night. In-laws came over on Sunday, and we're driving down, and it's about a half an hour drive we went to Texas Roadhouse, and got on my app and put us on the wait list, and it dings back. Okay, your wait is 95 to 105 minutes. And I'm like, that can't be right. So we get down there, I check in, and it says, sure enough, make sure you're here by 7:04. It was 2 hours and 15 minutes. And it was a long car sit.
Yeah.
Because we were just sitting in the parking lot.
Just waiting.
Nowhere else to go and nowhere else. Yeah. The dinner was phenomenal. Our waitress kicked butt. She was Johnny on the spot. Jenny on the spot,
Jenny
maybe.
On the spot.
It was fantastic dinner and totally worth it. But man, that was a long wait.
Yeah,
it was just, and of course you got to wear the mask to get to the table. Then you can take it off.
Yeah.
Then wear the mask to leave the table.
Right. Yeah, it's an ordeal.
It's an interesting thing because that makes all the much difference if I'm sitting. Yeah, I don't quite get that. Well, that's okay. I'm not the one that made the rules. I'm just following them. So.
Yeah.
I
didn't I don't know. So I guess I'm not sad about I'm kind of a homebody. I like to hang out at my house. So I'm not sad about it. I just now we don't go to the movies or do anything because now everything's just I'm just really bored. I hung out and watched some TV. And
Anything good?
Let's see. We started sort of binging on the new Star Trek, the Discovery and Picard. So we finished up
Haven't watched that yet.
that.
No.
So that was it was interesting.
Could you grab the tote, the sparkle like you made it tote from the counter for us? Thank you.
So I did a little bit of that. I rearranged some of the sewing machines in my room again to make my foot fetish videos easier yesterday. So I was telling Lisa I videotaped. It's funny. You think it's gonna take all of this time,
really
right?
Do. Thank you so
and
very
then
much.
I videotaped the pin tucking.
There's no wheel there. Okay, let's not lean forward. Oh, okay.
And I was talking about the different pin tucking feet and
There
twin
really needs to
needles.
be better stuff in here.
And the video is like 12 minutes long. I'm like, okay, so I covered all of these different things, and it's a really short.
It's going to be a short class
video.
for you guys.
Yeah. So if you're joining us for foot fetish tomorrow,
in and out.
It'll be in and out. Yeah.
Right.
So I it's just one of those weird things. You just, like I said, I always expect that it's gonna, like, I have a lot to say, and then I'm like, okay, well, I'm all done.
All done. Check you later.
I'm like double checking to make sure I
Covered everything,
and
there
then,
it goes.
And there it is. So, yeah, but we have some new stuff in the store.
We got some fun. Well, I didn't find these. Somebody else found these.
It's so cute. I mean, if you have to wear a mask and you have
You
to
might
make a
as
mask,
well look.
you might
cute
as well look cute doing it.
while
this
you're doing
is
it.
elastic, guys. It's
So
look at,
it's-
I'm like, yeah, look. Look at how cute these are. So there's 3 different choices. So you have brights,
Sorry, I hadn't gotten back in the pile far enough.
and then pastels and neutrals.
neutrals. So of course, these are more fun.
Right?
But sometimes you just need this.
Right.
Or you got a guy that's not gonna wear pink.
I mean, he should. Pink is totally cool.
I think it's totally cool.
yeah.
I love guys in purple. I
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just a really nice color on them.
I think so too.
And I love a man who's not afraid to wear purple.
Right? Totally.
What do you guys think? Yeah? I
Yeah.
think that's totally a thing. So do we know how much these are?
They're priced
Whoa, look at
$29.99.
Somebody did their job.
So this is 1/16, so it's skinny
It's
elastic.
not too big, which is really nice.
And there's 8 colors in each bag
4
and 4 yards
of
of each.
color. So
So,
lots of
yeah.
lots of elastic
Yeah.
available for
Yep.
for that. Yeah. So
super cute. I think these are just great.
yeah. So I think that's gonna have to go home with me.
Yeah, whatever's left is coming home. with
So
us.
yeah, if you guys don't buy it, I will. So because that's always a concern is that I don't have enough crap at home. I need more
Oh,
crap.
we need more. I
More
need
is
more.
always needed.
So we have those, and then we got, we love these. We're slightly addicted to them.
So soft books are a fantastic gift for little ones. They're really not super complicated to put together. The directions all come on the panels. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, probably 8 or 9 already over there. And we got 3 new book panels in. This one I think is my new favorite.
Right, but you won't be able to
You won't
read
be
it.
able to read it. So had a customer in last night, Gail, and we're looking at this and we're trying to read it. And I'm like, one kissy kisses. What's a kissy kiss? And I'm like, I'm like, what the heck? Why can't I read this? Well, that's page 10 and that's page 1. Like, oh yeah, it took us just half a second to get there. Sometimes the brain doesn't kick in. But this one is super cute because on your side, you have the tails
Mm-hmm.
and those attach off the edge of the book. So it's actually kind of like a 3D, you get the little excess piece. So she's got a picture there right at the top. The tails actually go outside. And so as you turn the book, you have these tails that are there. It's just so good.
Yeah.
So that is, it's going to have to be made. So I'm thinking, well, let's see. I have a niece. Maybe I could, she might be a little past that, but
that's okay.
it's okay. It's so cute.
She needs to have it.
She might totally need to have that. So book panels are really, really great. I know we do have a lot of customers who do things and sell them in craft shows and the like. I think they're a fantastic piece for that. So this one is, where's the freaking there? Well-being by Johnny Javelin.
Spot.
Johnny on the spot. That's it. Or Jenny on the spot. So here's the front cover.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this is all about, taking care of yourself and whatnot. So,
so cute.
Look at the stethoscope.
I know, right? It's just
thump.
That's listen to your heart. I mean, they really did a nice job.
It's just so cute.
Yes.
And this could, I know it's blue, but you could certainly do that for a little girl as
Absolutely.
well. And then, of course, who doesn't need a My Little Teapot book, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm a little teapot. So cute. I won't torture y'all and sing the song or anything, but very, very cute. So it's the teapot song all done in a soft book. And it really is just super cute.
Right.
The colors are nice and it's so wonderful.
Right. And baby showers, people are doing, they're like bring a book instead of a card.
Yep.
So boy, do these make fantastic gifts.
And so they'll sell for $10.99 a panel.
Right.
So,
they're going to chew on the book anyways. So
you might as well make it chewable.
Right. And this way you can
literally
chewable.
Yeah, that's a word.
And then you can rinse it and clean it. So it'll be all good. So
or better yet, their mom can.
Yes. So that's some of the stuff that's new this week, besides Lisa's broken chair.
A drunk little teapot tipping sideways.
We thought we would do two things today. So we're gonna show.
Neither one of them are gonna be super duper long.
No.
So we said that we were gonna finish this and show it on Tuesday. So we've almost got it done. The lights are still not on there. They literally just came in today. So if you are waiting for fairy lights for your kit that you purchased for Sparkle Like You Mean It, January fill in the blank, they just showed up. So you are certainly welcome to come and get them, and we'll get you taken care of. So this is the January's KimberBell fill in the blank and the design. And it came in this adorable blank that is a tote. So the reason it's a blank is because
it's not put together,
which makes it super easy to have large designs and not have to fight with your embroidery hoop and getting everything where it goes. So how do you finish this and how do you make that work like you want it? So of course, right sides together, just like everything else that we're going to sew. You certainly don't have to box corners. And if you don't want to box the corners, then you have an even easier job. You're just going to make sure that your top lines up nice, because you do want to make sure that top is nice and level and even. And then you just make a seam down the side. Your serger would be a great place to do this. Sewing machine, of course, if you don't have one, would work really well as well. So you would just do that right up the sides, flip it, and you got a bag. You're ready to go. But if you want something with a little width on the bottom, there's this fancy dancy thing called boxing corners. There's a couple different ways that you can do that. I loved I usually forget that I'm doing it. So I've sewed the side seam down before I've actually, gotten that far. So do you want to talk about that, the way that you do it once you've sewn those together?
So there's a fancy way to make like a Land's End bag, right? So box corner. But if you're like me and you're like, forget, you're like, shoot, I really wish that I would have done that.
I wanted to box that.
So once you've sewn this together, it's really easy. What you do is, can I have a pin? Thank you.
It's handy dandy that they're right there next to me.
I know. So I'm just going to put this pin in the corner here. I know you probably wouldn't make a seam that's maybe this large.
That large.
But essentially what you do is once you have this seam and you have your bottom crease, all you have to do is sort of open this up. And then what you do is you match the crease with your seam. And so you make sure that they're paired. And once they're paired, you decide how big you want that. I usually like an inch to an inch and a half at the bottom. And so you're going to mark from the point and draw a straight line. And then you can serge that off or you can sew. And if you sew it and you still have this, if you kind of tuck it in the bag, it kind of helps to push
the corners
out
stay open.
The corners. But essentially what that will do is you're going to sew like that.
So basically then you get the flat line off of the corner after opening the seam so that
Yep.
the seam sits together.
And so that gives you, it's really hard to do.
It's really hard to show without actually doing it.
And so that gets you that box
box edge so that you actually have a base to the bag.
Yep.
So for fancy dancy corners.
Yes. If you remember ahead of time before you sew your side seams together, this is like the Land's End one.
So we've got our ends. You were not wrong. This is super hard to do without.
You want me to hold your ends?
So my ends are all balanced. What I want to work with is this part here. So I'm going to set it down for half a second because there's no way I can do that with it up. And I'm going to push the middle of the bag up. So I'm going to basically have
like
a pleat inside of there. However much box I want at the bottom is how big that's going to be. An inch, inch and a half is more than fine. If you want a super deep bag, that's fine too. You can go up to those 2 inches. Keep in mind wherever your design is, because if you box too far down, you're going to end up with that literally curving over in there. So I've literally pulled that in and I folded that. I want to do this on both sides, and I want to make sure that my fold balances on both sides. And I still want to make sure that my tips are balanced. So once I have all that,
don't be tipsy.
Don't be tipsy. No, like my chair is. I'm not even going to pretend to do that again. That was really, really bad. And then literally you're just going to sew down that seam. So you can actually do that on the serger if you would like while they're
I'll
sewing.
Have to do it after I thread it.
Well, yes, I get that. I'll put pins in it while you're fussing with that. So that is going to give you a little triangle on the outside of the bag and give you that nice box edge. It has a really nice finished look. But again, you have to remember beforehand because you can't fold that little piece in if
then you had a rip. And so
we try to avoid that whenever possible.
If you don't want to rip.
We don't like unsewing any more than y'all do. So there you go. So those are a couple options for I don't have any clips, so you're gonna have to deal with pins.
I can handle that.
Okay.
All right. So that's how you can box your corners. 2 easy options. And the phone is ringing because that happens every time we go live.
It does.
Except for we did move them over.
They're
a
at
little
least
bit.
like 6 feet from us. We have social distanced our phones.
All right. So while Lisa's doing that, how about if I swing over to the serger?
Yeah. So the other thing that we're going to show you is these fantastic sergers.
All right.
And how easy they are to thread.
Okay.
So I'm going to switch you right over to her. So bye. There she is.
Okay, guys.
She is on screen.
So I have the Babylock Acclaim here. I'm hoping everybody can hear me because I'm kind of on the side of this. Okay.
Probably okay.
So this is the Babylock Acclaim, and this is right in the middle of the serger lineup. So it's not the bottom one. It's not the top end one. And this is just a regular serger that does 4-thread overcasting, 3-thread overcasting, rolled hems. So those types of stitches. This also has the fancy dancy wave stitch, which is just a decorative stitch. So
it's fun.
It is. One of the really beautiful things about a Babylock serger is that we have air threading and we have no tension disc. So you can see it's smooth up here, like a baby's butt.
Okay.
So we don't have any tension dials that we have to worry about. What I have on the side here is a stitch selector. And when you purchase one of these machines, you get what I call is your recipe cards. You get one of these really great tools. And this tells us exactly how everything should be threaded. So I need to put my other needle in here because I only have
You only have one needle. We totally planned so far ahead today.
We did plan far ahead. We just didn't get to it.
We did.
We actually had this plan. You are not wrong. At 9 o'clock this morning.
So I am just going to slide this other needle in. And the screws are right here, so this is really easy to do.
I know. So this is a little bit different than, say, the Imagine or Victory. It's got a different screw base on there. That's a little hex screw. Mm-hmm. So if you go, that doesn't look like mine. That would be why.
Yep.
So,
but it's really clean in here. There's just a little dust.
I I opened it with every intention of cleaning even that little bit of dust, but
Yeah.
you know,
It happens.
good plans are always made, but they're never
So,
finished.
how I'm gonna thread this is I'm gonna turn this little dial here. This says surging at the top and threading at the bottom. So I'm just gonna click it down here to threading. And then I've got some tubes down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my hand. That was really simple.
That was
turn
really
my
fast.
hand wheel towards me, and it's going to make this click noise. That's hysterical, right?
It never goes that
No,
fast.
usually I feel like I have to turn it and turn it and
Like
turn it.
all the way around 4 times. Yeah.
So what I've done is I've cleared, I've closed these little tubes down here.
Do you want to angle the machine a little bit towards the camera because they can't see the tubes at all? There we go. Perfect.
There we go. So I have, I've closed these little tubes down here so that they can, the thread is going to travel from here all the way through all these tubes, and then it's going to shoot out over here, which is super impressive.
I'm just playing. It's like, what was that?
All right.
Just
And
waving
so
at everybody.
the beauty of this machine here is that it does not matter if I thread my needles first. It doesn't matter if I thread my loopers first. It doesn't matter which looper I thread first. You can do them at the same time, or you can do them one at a time. So this is my upper looper, and I've got this really bright orange thread here. And all I have to do is smush some of that in. I need to make sure that I've got a little bit of a tail thread here so that it can whoosh out. And this right here is my upper looper. So I'm going to push this button, and you can see my thread. It's like magic.
Yeah, I can totally see that. It's invisible thread.
It's invisible thread. And then I'm going to do the same thing for my lower looper. So pull in my tail thread, and I'm going to and then the air thread shot this out here. So I've got my lower looper threaded and my upper looper threaded. So now all I need to do is thread my needles. Now, one of the reasons that I picked this particular machine is because it also has air threading for my needles, because I'm old and I don't want to thread my needles.
How many people do you think you just offended? Our eyes are old.
Yes. They don't see that little stuff like they used to.
That invisible thread
That
just
invisible
boom,
thread.
can't see it, blurred right out of existence.
It did. So you can use your air threader for your needles. Now, it's kind of loud. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this little guy down over here. Can they see the
They can
yellow?
see that.
All
So just as a side mention, you do have to be in threading mode
Mhm.
for that to come down. So for those of you at home that keep trying to pull that down and it won't go, you've probably already exited threading mode. So make sure that you stay in that to use that air threader.
Yep, as you can see down here, this is what Lisa's talking about. So the surging button is up here and the threading button is here. So I'm still in threading. And so what I'm going to do is, this is for my right needle. And this button here, it's going to be a little bit loud for a
It's going to
second.
get loud for half a second
It's
here,
kind of
guys.
like a little mini air compressor. And there's a tube here. And what's going to happen is it's more like a vacuum.
It is.
But it sounds
sucks it
like
right
an
in
air
there.
compressor. So it's going to pull the thread and it's going to suck it right through here, and we'll be good. So I'm going to turn that on. And I missed. There we go. I just got it in. So it's hard because I was trying to do it so that you could see, but I basically just have to set that in front, and then it threads the needle for me.
The air just pulls it right through,
Yep.
which is why it's kind of more like a vacuum.
And then I'm going to do, sorry about my arm.
Such a pretty new shirt, though. Isn't that a beautiful pattern?
All right. So, and again, I'm just coming and threading this sort of like a regular sewing machine here, kind of
Over
up
the
and
take-up
over.
lever kind of thing.
And then I'm coming behind the needle, and I'm going to bring that down again. And I do like to trim the tip off just so it's not too fuzzy. And then what I'm going to try to, I'm just basically going to set this right here so I can see the needle, so I know the area that it's at. And then I'm going to turn this on. It sucks it. Then I'm going to turn it off. You could leave it on if you wanted to. And then I can pull it. And I'm not sure, can you guys see the thread right
Yeah,
there?
you can
So
see
it's
it.
attached. and then I'm going to pull it through and then just grab it. So that is how easy it is to thread this serger. So there's nothing complicated about it at all. I'm almost ready to stitch. I just have to switch my dial from threading to serging, and I would be actually ready to stitch. So this is on a really short stitch length. There was like one. That would have been 2.5. Yep. So this dial down here is what adjusts my stitch length. So on a regular sewing machine, you have you're kind of at 2.5 or 3. So I just basically set this to the same thing. And this guy here is my stitch width. And I'm not sure if you can see this moving in or not, but this guy right here, that's my blade. He moves in and out as I turn this dial. And so I've got it turned so that it's a wide stitch. And if we have done everything correctly, I have already adjusted my stitch dial over here to an A, because that's what my
recipe card
tells me to. And then I'm going to go ahead and close this. And then do you mind if we stitch this up with this funny
no,
colored
it doesn't
thread?
matter. It's the inside of the bag.
All right. So I'm going to bring this
It'll
over
sparkle.
here. It'll sparkle. Find my foot pedal.
I did provide it.
You did. It is attached to the power cord, so that helps.
Yeah, I know the pins aren't necessarily in the right spot, but
That's okay. As long as they're out of my way.
I think they're out of your way.
Yep. And so I'm just going to line this up with the edge here.
So basically the blades just kind of buzz it.
Yep. So I'm just going to have the blade sort of grazing. And I am going to take this one out because it's kind of close to the foot. And we'll do the other side real quick. And I'm starting at the top on this bag.
I would recommend that as well.
Yeah.
To make sure your tips
Yeah,
line
just
up
make
nice.
sure that the lines here stay nice and even. Don't sew over your finger.
No.
It's really hard to sew straight on an angle.
Wow, that makes sense.
All right. So I'm going to whip these pins out here real quick. Give those back to Lisa. Try not to poke her.
Wouldn't be the first
3.
time.
There's one more. 4. All right. Got it?
Yeah, you poked me that time.
I'm sorry.
Brat.
Wasn't intentional.
Brat.
All right. So I'm going to turn this right side out. All right.
So we have our
So
fancy dancy
here's that fancy
corner. And it looks beautifully finished, almost like you bought it at the store, just like that.
And so you can see you got your nice corner.
And then, of course, you can press that if you would like to. I don't mean for you to do that.
Oh, I wasn't.
Okay. I was like, you just jumped right up when I said that. I was like,
So there you go. Nice and
So.
easy. Pleated corners. So want to come back
all
over here?
right.
I think
So we're
done.
going to come back over here and dun, da, da, da. Hi. All right. Let's try not to.
We don't want to tip Lisa. She's already tipsy.
I'm already tipsy. Mountain Dew did me in.
Woo! All right.
So yeah.
So yeah, and then
Super easy. And then of course you can bury your threads or whatever your system is for your serger threads there. And I just love that. I think it looks so nice and it finishes it so easily.
yeah,
But the other way is very easy as well.
get it on the camera here.
You're basically just going to sew straight down if you're going for the other route. Sew straight down. And then once you have that, pull it open, line up the seams and measure down. Sew straight line across.
Yeah,
Piece of cake.
piece of cake.
And on the other way, that triangle fold would be inside the bag instead of
Yes.
outside of the bag.
Mhm.
So it's just a matter of what you want it to look like.
Yeah.
That's it. So nice and easy. What are you looking at?
Nothing.
Like, there's nothing over there.
No.
What is he looking at? So we have had a lot of you come in and get the kits. And so I think a lot of you are in the process of, or maybe it's just going into the back of your to-do pile. I don't know. But a lot of you have already picked those up. We do still have the fill in the blank bags. So the bags themselves. And we do still have a few more fabric kits. So
we still have some fill in the blank spots. I know it might say online that we're out. I have to add more stock.
Yeah, we put a number that would make sure that we didn't oversell what we had, but that was the Acclaim, Miss Lisa. It is a 4-thread serger plus a wave stitch.
With air threading.
In both of the loopers and the needles. Lots of fun to sew on.
That was actually that
was the first one you sewed on.
It was. I took the serger home for the weekend.
She came back. She's like, I want the Triumph.
I did. It was so funny. I hadn't had a serger. So my first serger was a Viking serger, right? And I loved that serger. It was easy for me to use. And then we had a house fire, so
didn't make it.
No, the blown in insulation came down over top of the serger. Dave had used it upstairs, and he did duct cleaning then, so he'd serged a hole in his bag, and so it came down over top of it, and it was wet, and then it dried, and it was like a cement hard casing. We couldn't get it off the serger. it was like entombed. So it was really funny, but I sold those Berninas for a long time, and I did not enjoy their sergers. They were very finicky and they were awful. So I didn't have one. I would just use the one at work and call it bad names, and
then go home and think, I'm so glad I don't have one of those.
I would be like, I can't do this because it's just we didn't get along real well. And then when I came here, and Tony was like, you can't.
Kind of liked the sergers.
I know,
guys.
right? He's like, you can't break it, and I'm like, I don't know. I can break anything. And I'm like, but I'm gonna try it. So I took that serger home, and I loved it. I made all kinds of things that weekend.
Yeah, you were doing a serger class, so you basically prepped everything for the class, and yeah, she was like, yep, I want one, but I don't want this one.
Right. And
I want the big one.
Dave was so funny. He's like, you should just buy a new one. And I'm like, yeah, I should. So I came in and I'm like, yeah, Jean, I want the Triumph and the table.
Yes, is your answer, Lisa. But now I see that you said never mind. So that is a 4-thread. You can do 2, 3, or 4-thread overlock and other fancy dancy stitches on that little guy.
That one is not cover stitch. That is
nope.
The top. I guess that's the top end 4-thread.
Yep.
So
the next one up is your 8-thread, and that would be the Accolade, and that one is both.
Right, and we actually have a use evolution here, which is a previously loved and before the Acclaim.
Before the Accolade. I like numbers. This whole business of names
and they're so close to each other.
We were just talking earlier. You know, the new 10 needle from Babylock is called the Venture. The previous one was called the Valiant, and I'm like, couldn't they have at least picked a different letter for it to start with, so that we were? Which one is it again?
So in auto tension air threaded sergers, we have the Celebrate. We have
that's not auto tension. It's a loopers, but not auto tension on the needers.
What's
the Victory?
The Victory. Thank you. I always get those two mixed up. So now you can too.
Like I said, there's names.
so
hard.
The Victory replaced the Imagine.
It replaced the Imagine, Lisa. So that would be the equivalency of that.
Yes. And the Acclaim replaced, was it an Enlighten?
Yep. It was the Enlighten. But that was a big change. So like the Victory, which took over from the Imagine, it's on the same frame and everything. The lighting is different. There was some few very minor changes. The Enlighten to the Acclaim, it's on a whole different frame of the machine. So it's a much, much bigger frame. And it's got that air threading in the needles, which is really cool.
Yes.
It's got a little magnetic thing to hold like pins and needles and random. It's just one of those things that they really thought of everything on this one. Yeah. So,
and then those are 4 threads. And then we have the combo machines, which are 8 threads, which is the Accolade and the Triumph.
And then the Triumph.
So formally the Evolution and the Ovation. So
'Cause, you know, they don't all sound alike or anything.
right, the names are so crazy.
It's
So
just
yeah, it's like, oh my gosh. So yeah,
Yeah, so if we ever get confused when you ask us about a machine, it's not because we don't actually know the answer. We just got it confused with something else that sounds just like it.
mhm. Yeah, it's like they get in a rhyming
Yeah.
It's just weird. Like when they brought out the happy ones, joy, zeal,
The
zest,
joy and the zeal and the zest and the jubilant,
and the
you know,
celebrate.
and the celebrate that came out in that whole line. And it was like, it
Mhm.
had this, we still couldn't get Gene to do it.
No.
How do you feel when you sew? And he was just like, yeah, I'm not partaking in that. They
No.
had this sign that we were supposed to actually, I think we were supposed to take pictures with customers.
We
but
were.
We never did that.
No.
We felt it was
We're
a
not
little
very good
awkward.
at following instructions.
No,
are we?
can you imagine? I mean,
Sorry, Babylock.
it was a great idea.
It
was a
was.
great promotion. Sorry we didn't participate because we just didn't get there.
No. Mm-mm. We, if we had been doing Facebook Lives then,
We totally would have.
could have been
Absolutely, because we could have asked you guys and you
Yeah.
could have all told us.
right.
So
So,
there you go.
but a lot of people don't know about Sergers, so we just thought that would be a fun, quick
And
way of showing a little bit about them.
we are aware that a lot of people are afraid of Sergers because of all of the horror stories that are out there about threading. So one of the wonderful things, and it is really only one of, it might be the best thing, but it's only one of the wonderful things about the Babylock Sergers is that lovely air threading, which when you have that air threading, it doesn't matter what you thread first, second, last.
Mhm.
It just makes life easy. So, if you've been thinking about it, we've got some in stock and we're happy to show you how they work because they really are such a wonderful,
Yeah,
wonderful tool.
it's funny. Air threading is my second favorite thing about it. The auto tension is my first.
Yeah, no doubt.
I tell people all the time, I could teach anybody really how to thread your
How to
serger.
thread it. It
It
might
takes
take you a minute
practice.
in practice, but you can learn and figure it out. That tension thing is a whole nother ball of wax.
It is. It's so
sergers
sometimes
are like
it's so
bass
difficult.
backwards.
They are. Yeah.
Can I say that? I didn't really say
well,
anything
too
bad.
late,
Bass, that's just a fish.
right?
Backwards isn't really a word.
True.
So there you go. But it just works.
They do
um,
always. It doesn't matter what you put underneath there,
Nope.
thin or thick.
You can go from tulle, which is just net, to heavy blue jean and back to cotton, and you don't have to change anything.
No.
You just sew
Mm-mm.
or serge, I guess, to be
Serge.
more to the point.
Right. So, because we know that you think that Lisa and I know everything. We just want you to know that if you're thinking about buying a serger, if it's on your radar at all,
These are
save
the
up
only-
and buy.
save up and buy the right one.
Right.
It's
because
totally worth it.
you will use it because it's user friendly and it's easy. And if you buy a serger that's not user friendly and easy, you
will hate it.
it's just going to be a doorstop. And you won't
So
use it.
and we certainly hear a lot. It's $400 instead of $2,000. Well, yeah, there's a reason. So if, like she said, if it's on your radar, save your pennies and get the good one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can't say enough good things about them. They really do make the best sergers.
They do, hands down. I mean,
everybody's trying.
they
to do
just
it.
work.
Yeah.
Period.
So-
And unfortunately, when they don't work, guess whose fault it is?
Usually ours.
It's the
I mean,
operator's
not
fault.
ours, but sometimes you guys think it's ours.
Sometimes.
think it is.
Yeah, but it's just they work.
They do.
Bottom line. I mean, even Sarah hasn't been able to break one yet. I don't think
Mm-mm. I've tried really, really.
she has broken a few things.
I might.
That's not one of
in
them.
a few things. Yeah, I'm really. Yes.
If she stands too close to the computer.
I didn't break the luminaire hoop. She did.
Actually, it wasn't my fault.
You dropped it.
I
was
took
frozen.
it out of. It was frozen because Jean left it in the truck, and I picked it up, and there it went, and it snapped in half. Totally Jean's fault. Absolutely Jean's fault. He shouldn't have left it in the truck.
Good times.
I did do that.
Oh yeah.
Fortunately, that was an easy one to fix.
It was.
Unfortunately, it was the only one that we had at the expo. Oh, crap. But yeah, it's not easy to break this stuff. You did break the luminaire. Day one, stitched on it. You busted it.
I did. Well, and
See?
I did the update and froze the other one.
Yep.
Remember? So
Totally.
we,
I'm telling you, this thing right here and
we
electronics,
froze it so bad it had to be sent back.
we sent it back. She really did.
Because they were like, I've never seen this before. So I know your frustration. You guys are on the other end over there, and you're like, you're the one who we're going, yeah, I've never seen that before. It's just because I haven't tried it
just
yet.
because she hasn't done it yet.
Because I guarantee you, if it's breakable,
She will screw it up.
probably
Yeah.
gonna
You'll get it to do whatever you needed it to do wrong.
it is.
Yeah. So it is certainly back to the point. The point is these machines are phenomenal and they just flat out work.
They're Sarah-proof.
They are Sarah-proof and you know,
That's saying a lot.
it is saying quite a bit. And you know, I have learned a lot since I started working here about sergers. I had used once a serger that I didn't own. I went to my mother-in-law's house and I used hers and it was an old Viking. She threaded it for me and I sat down and hit the foot pedal. So I didn't screw it up, but neither did I actually do the hard part. So that was my only experience. And so when I was like, wow, this is easy. I was like, I can do this. And the great thing is the learning curve is not steep because it's all on this card. And you can memorize it if you want, but you don't have to. It's just, it's there. So, you know, I always joke around, there's only so much room in here. I don't memorize those things because it's all right there. So, I mean, I know if it's 4 threads, it's A.
Yeah.
And I know how to, that's the one I don't have
Left
to
needle.
change. Yes. But, if that left needle is in, it's on A. I got that. And I no longer have to look that up anymore. But, the rest of it, I just don't even try.
Yeah.
I knew that, and I was having issues trying to do a 3-thread on the Accolade
Yeah.
because it was an A using
The right needle.
So like we said, if it's not working, it's something that the operator has or has not done.
Right.
Because they really are just so straightforward.
I mean, it certainly happens. Like Hayden says, he knows, right? You do it 100 times, and then all of a sudden, because it's just like a regular.
It's
sewing
just
machine.
ingrained. You sit down and you want to go.
Right.
Right.
And you think you know what you're doing, and you just don't pay attention. And like I have missed my uptake lever on my machine before. Just totally forgot to do it. I mean, I've been sewing, right? And I get up and it's down here. Somebody stops talking and I thread it, and then I completely missed that.
Just leave that part out.
I left that part out, and
I don't think I've ever done that.
I have done that before. More than once.
So I hope this makes you guys feel better. We make mistakes all the time.
Yes.
You know,
We just
and I
delete
always
those
joke
videos.
around. Right? I always joke that we make the mistakes so you guys don't have to. We find where the problem areas are, and then we try to teach you so that you don't run into that. But you know, I know you've all heard me say this, but we really do learn from our mistakes way more than when we sit down and everything works. We don't even know what we did. We just sat down and it worked. But when we sat down and it didn't work and we had to figure it out, we're certainly processing and we're learning so much more. So sometimes it sucks, but you're certainly getting a lot more out of it once you figure out those little things.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So I think we've rambled about how wonderful those machines are. Because,
Does anybody curious which serger we like? If you were to ask us, I mean,
which one should you take home?
We
Right.
love our brother products, but don't buy.
But I would not
that.
buy a brother serger. I wouldn't buy my mother a brother serger.
No.
Sorry, Mom.
Because we love your mom.
I love my mom. I would not put her down and sit her down in front of a brother serger and walk away. That I just wouldn't do it.
And they're so popular online, and they really are.
You know why?
Because they're
They're
inexpensive, and people don't do reviews on stuff that's sold in sewing machine shops because this stuff isn't online for you to review You know, because we're not selling them on Amazon.
Yeah. So when you go to Amazon to look, these aren't there because there's nothing to compare that to on Amazon.
Right.
Yep.
So that's why. What was the name? Oh, this one is the Acclaim. So that's Babylock Acclaim.
Yep.
There are many out there. Yes. The one that we demonstrated on today was the Babylock Acclaim. The picture that might have been on the broadcast thing that you saw was the Babylock Triumph. So
Okay.
I snapped a picture of the Triumph because
We were
actually
originally going to
be
sit over there, but
in
it
a
was
different
really
spot.
cold. So I said, no, that's not actually why, but that might have been part of it. I walked over there, I'm like, man, it's cold over here. But that's not actually why.
Yes.
But then why we moved didn't actually end up being a thing.
No,
So
it
you just
didn't.
never know. We were trying to prepare for all things, but
See what happens when we're prepared.
we tried to prepare and see.
We break a chair.
I totally broke a chair. Would you like to see me fall again? Because it's gonna happen probably any minute. The wheel right here. This has a 5-wheel thing, and this one's just gone. I don't know where the wheel went.
She's down to
but
4.
it's like whoop. Not good at all.
Well, we have been talking about getting rid of that chair.
We have, yeah.
So if Jean's watching, we finally did it. We broke it.
I broke it.
It's Lisa's turn to break something.
Hit it harder. Sorry, I can gain more weight. Don't worry. Give me a minute.
This mouse pad is really cool.
It is. Have you not really paid attention to that before?
No, because it hasn't really been around. We should show that. We can order these for people.
So we
They're
can
kind of
absolutely
expensive,
order
but-
these for people. So for any of you who have PE or palette, these are shortcuts and easy key strokes. And when they're on your mouse pad, they're right there where you're sitting.
You don't have to get out the imaginary book that comes with your software.
It is imaginary now.
It
You are
is.
not wrong. But so Cynthia's embroidery is Cindy Hogan. So if you guys have seen us at Novi any time in the last few years, Cindy is usually there with us, and she's scan and cutting usually for us there. But she is the whiz, and she actually writes books for the different versions of PE, and they are phenomenal. So
she wrote the scan and cut.
she did write the scan and cut playbook. So like I said, a lot of you know her, and then she does Facebook.
Yeah, actually right after ours. So she does a I think she calls it software shut-in. And so hers is at like 4, it starts at 4:30, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, it ends up being right after ours. I see it oftentimes on my way home.
On your way home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because she ditches as soon as this is over.
I do. I'm like, I'm out.
So I'm like, you can't leave yet. Nope, we got to keep talking.
I'm out.
Yeah. So, but anyways, we certainly can order. We probably should order some of those and have them in shop.
Yeah.
I think that would be a really nice little pickup thing. But there is so many things in that software that's wonderful, and that just makes it just a little bit easier, which is awesome. I love easy. So anything that makes life easier, I'm down for.
So we have our classes tomorrow.
We do. So embroidery
there's
club.
no fancy
And
scrolling thing.
all that preparedness.
Right. It still said join
So-
us tomorrow for KimberBell from last week.
Oh,
That wasn't
that-
gonna work today.
no.
No. So
so
embroidery club.
tomorrow morning.
Yes. Foot fetish.
Is Foot Fetish. That's at 9:30. And you can register if you have not already. There's a link on the website, right?
Yes.
Yep, we did that
On the Google Calendar.
on the website Google Calendar. Yes. And then tomorrow at close, I will be teaching Embroidery Club, which is a cute little bench buddy. So it's like 8x8, yay big, cute little guy. The that's not scan and cut. I read that, and
Yes.
that's what popped out of my mouth. The Embroidery Club is a paid class, so there's a kit and the whole shebang. You could still come in tomorrow. I can send you the link if you wanted to do that still. And then, of course, there's a class on Saturday, which we have Saturday Foot Fetish in the morning at 9:30, and then at close, which is 3:00 on Saturday for the Embroidery Club.
Yes.
So those are coming up. There's still room in either because it's all wonderfully virtual, so anybody can join.
Yeah.
And to answer your question, the book is a playbook, Anna, and yes, there is a book. It takes you through basically
It's
unboxing the machine.
It's like a Bible.
It's fantastic. And Cindy Hogan is who wrote that book, so she did a really, really great job, as she always does.
Right. Yeah, she's great.
She's really, really great, and I just love to hear her talk.
I know. It's worth it to
It's
to
totally
pop
worth
in,
it to
even
pop
if you
in, just-
don't have software.
Because y'all need to do.
It is. She's adorable.
It's absolutely adorable.
Yes.
So
We love her.
it's like my nephews down in Virginia. I ask them questions just to hear them talk.
Mhm.
It's fantastic.
Yes.
It's just great. And they know that at this point. But you know what? They call me Uncle Lisa, so I don't really care. I'm just going to keep doing it.
Yeah, that's
So
fair.
it's fair.
So you can still sign up for Lisa's class.
Absolutely.
And you can still pop in and join my class tomorrow
Either
or Saturday.
And the links for hers are on the class calendar on the website, so you
Yep.
can sign up right through there, which will get you in.
Yep. You really just have to click the link and you'll be in the class.
Which is a lecture demo format for hers.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's got that super long video to show you.
Yeah, it'll be a quick class. The video is already up on YouTube. So if you can't join us for class, the video that I'll be playing during the lecture demo tomorrow is up and you can watch it. You know, you won't get all of the secrets in the video. You'll just get sort of you know, how the foot works. And then everybody who joins us for class, you'll get a fun
we'll have to come up with
a fun
code.
coupon code that you tell us that tells us that you actually did
We're gonna have to
participate
think about that.
in my live
In the live class.
and not just watch the
And
video.
that will be a discount to purchase the foot that she's talking about,
Yeah.
which is the pin tuck foot.
The pin tuck foot. So the 3 or the 5 groove pin tuck foot.
Yep.
Um,
So that's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow.
And Saturday or Saturday.
And or Saturday.
So not both.
but I also loaded 2 other videos up. So I did a pin tuck
Look
foot.
at you.
Yeah, and it's not super fancy. It's just to let you know that there's some more videos up there.
But it very important.
Yes.
She categorized all
I
of the
did.
videos
The
in
YouTube channel should be getting easier and easier to use.
So when you're searching for something, you can look in the category of sewing,
Mhm.
embroidery, so on and so forth. So it's instead of having to scroll through everything,
Yep.
you can narrow down your search a
yeah,
little bit.
so there's when you click on our YouTube channel, there's a playlist tab. And if you tap the playlist, it'll kind of break down the videos. So we have the what's new with SnL on there.
Like today.
Yeah, those are all in one spot. And then if we talked about something specific like the scan and cut or
The serger.
the serger, so then this will also be cross posted into the serger playlist. So it's a little bit easier for you guys
So they
to
can
find this
Basically, they
stuff.
can be in multiple categories at the
Mhm.
same time. So you will see the same video linked in maybe at different places depending upon what was discussed in that video.
Yep. But I did load the pin tucking foot video, and I did a quick video on how to thread for a twin needle. Because that's kind of one of those
Different.
things and you kind of need to know that to do the pin tucking, but it doesn't really play in with the pin tuck. You can't make a pin tuck without a twin needle. And
Imagine that.
I also did a quick video on updating your Luminaire Solaris 1 or 2. If you have that little blue exclamation point that comes out because there's a new Babylock
Yes,
or
you had
brother.
an update on your computer on
I
your machine
did.
at home.
I did, yeah.
Might as well make use of this.
Right. And it's funny because I filmed one here, but I didn't film it like I was on the screen over here, so you really couldn't see the rest of it. And so this one I did a little bit further back, so that you could see holding the
button,
doing all of the other stuff that you need to do. So it was a little bit
Gotcha.
easier.
Very
So,
nice. Very nice.
couple of videos. We've got lots of plans for videos.
We do. We've been
to go
making a
up.
list. So we will be working on more. Thanks, Jean. I'm going to be trying to get you guys some software basics up there so you can pull that up if you're having some trouble at home. And we got a long list of.
Yeah.
That list never gets shorter. It just
doesn't.
keeps getting longer.
It does.
We get something off the top of it and we've added 5 more to the bottom. So it just keeps going and going and going. It's like the Energizer Bunny.
It is.
Yep.
So
So we hope you enjoy those. We hope you make use of all of the different things that we're posting. We're happy to do that. If there's something that you can be, this would totally help me if you guys could just do this. Shoot us a message. We might not have thought of it because maybe we didn't have an issue with that. So just let us know. We're
Yeah.
happy to attempt or at least add it to the list.
Yeah.
So we can absolutely do that. You got anything else?
I don't think I have anything else.
Okay. I don't have anything else either.
No.
So
I'll see some of you guys in the morning, 9:30.
bright and
Bright and
early,
early.
get your coffee on. Set
Maybe
it up.
show a picture of something, so I'm not
Yes, at least put up something instead of just
Right.
a name.
even if you guys should just make like
those
faces.
You know
So-
that not that this you guys are depressed. You know the depression commercials that
Yes.
they all of
the,
the,
the smiley face or
That
the
just kills
sad
me every
face.
time I see that
Yes.
commercial.
But yeah, so it's a lot more entertaining for me when I can see
See
some
somebody.
faces and everybody joins and they don't have their camera on. It's like I'm talking to myself, which I guess I
Which
don't really mind, but it's just
but
weird.
it's really weird.
It is.
Yeah, the night that I did the scan and cut one, which was just a repeat of what I had done, it was really weird. And bless Janae's heart, she was like, "Haven't I heard this before?" And I was like, "Yeah, you did." But yeah, so talking to oneself is a little.
It is.
It
This
just feels
is a
awkward.
different
This is
banter.
much
Yeah,
better.
it's easier.
We're still talking to ourselves,
Right.
but at least it doesn't feel like it quite so badly. So anyway,
Yeah.
I'm not going to fall over because I keep wanting to lean that
That
way.
way?
And nope, not going to do it.
All right.
So we are going to say goodbye. I hope you guys had a wonderful week, and I hope you have a wonderful week coming up.
Mhm.
And we'll see you next Tuesday. Don't have a clue what we're going to show you, but we'll figure it out between now and then.
I managed to get a wave in
Yeah.
and the right side of the camera.
Y'all have a good one. We will see you next time.
Yep. Bye.
Thanks for stopping in.